Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Healing Playlist. My name is Desi, and I'm the creator of this channel. And I wanted to make a quick video on a reflection on myself on the past 197 days. So, 197 days ago, I lost my job. So, beforehand, it was my first well paying job where I was able to move out. I moved out in this beautiful studio that I'm living in, and life was great. However, back in November, I got told that, hey, this isn't a good fit. We're letting you go, and since then, I've been well, I am unemployed, but seeking employment. And what a journey has it been. And I also made a previous video on 100, like 58 or I don't know, 100 days on my unemployment. And I rewatched it just to kind of get a glimpse on what I was talking about and how I was feeling. However, that video just reflects the day of on what I was feeling because I was going through it. Like I had just ended things with the place that I was volunteering with. And so I was a little bit circling on just that subject, but I didn't really go into depth of what unemployment has been for me, along with what I've been going through, what I've been really feeling, and along with just in general what these past 6 months have been for me. So in November, I lost my job, and it was unfortunate because it was during the holidays. So November, December, January, I want to say were slow months for recruiting. I was applying for jobs the first month, 2 months, really heavy, and unfortunately could not get an interview. And I kind of blame this on just because it being the holiday, along with there were a lot of layoffs that were going. So I think companies just didn't really know the budget wise, along with if there was any room for hiring. So I didn't get any interviews. Um, November, December, January. February, I was starting to get my starting to apply a little bit, not as heavy because I did have some PTSD of, applying for all these jobs and not getting any interviews. So in February, I felt really like discouraged. I felt like I was in a sunken place where I wasn't gonna get anything. Like I really felt like I wasn't gonna get anything. But yeah, I still continue to volunteer, still made YouTube videos along with that was around the time where I started this channel. And around in March, that's kind of where I kind of got the a glimpse of reality. Like, no, you need to start applying a little bit heavier. And so in March, along with in April, and now that we're in May, I've been applying and I have had numerous interviews. And in case you don't know, there are many others that are also unemployed. And a lot, to me, what it seems that a lot of people are reporting is that this market is tough. And I can confirm, since being employed since I was 18 up until now, that this is probably one of the roughest markets that I've seen the market in. And I think there are a lot of number of factors on why it's like this. One, because I think we're facing a lot of repercussions from the pandemic. Number two is just with the way the economy is, inflation. Not that much people are wanting to spend money, which means a lot of companies aren't wanting to hire on. A lot of companies are, I think, believe saying, hey, if we can pile two jobs on one person that are willing to take it, willing not to ask for a raise, then they'll do that. So it's an extremely heavy employer's market. And fortunately, I've had interviews since March, April, and in May, which seems to me like I've had an interview at least once a week. And there have been multiple companies, pretty much all of them. I want to say minus one, where I've interviewed with them where I just felt like, okay, I get it. I'm desperate to get a job, but I feel like in the long run, we are not compatible, just because I'm basing off the characteristics and visioning myself working with this team on how we're going to be compatible. And I can confirm too, what's also very hard a hard part of this economy is that there are a lot of egos that are being played into it. It seems like it's a ego game where employers are aware that people who are seeking employment are desperate, so they're feeding off that and showing off their ego right away. But fortunately for me, like I'm able to like kind of pinpoint on characteristics along with just like social interaction on how people act, and it makes me think like, why would I want to work with you in the long run, if you're already showing me an ego trip, like you're already basing off this few interactions off your ego, like you're gonna be you are a horrible boss. I'm telling you right now, I don't even work with you, and you are a horrible boss. Like what? And it makes me so sad because I think about the people who are employed with them, what they're going through, and what they're experiencing with these bosses, and it's just unfortunate and awful. For example, for one of the first companies that I had interviewed with, the CEO really didn't seem to comprehend on business development. And there was a part where I was going on a tour with the vice president, and I asked him about when it came to in terms of business development, where does he see the company going? And his response was, "Well, we're pretty good where we're at. We don't really like see ourselves like growing." Essentially, something is essentially along the lines of that. And it makes me think like, okay, well, you guys are okay where you're at. I just don't picture myself like working with you in the long run. Like straight up, there was this other person who interviewed with me, and I don't know. I just feel like when it comes to female bosses, and I want to say the majority of them because I've had good, just like in general, but to me, based on my experience, more female bosses have more have been more micromanaged when it comes to me in any field. When it comes to just micromanagement, I feel like I've encountered more women than men that have been micromanaged. So in particular, this other person who I was interviewing with, she was a woman, and I don't know, there was just like, I don't know, like it just felt like she was a micromanager. Like just based off the little interaction I had with her in the interview, I just thought, you know what, like this isn't gonna be a good match. So when I got ghosted by them, I took it as thank you. Like I wasn't really, it was not even that serious. Like I don't picture myself working with you. Um, there was also this other place that I was interviewing with where they had emailed me on a Tuesday, and or no, she had called me on that Tuesday, and I didn't answer my phone because I had it on Do Not Disturb. And sure enough, when I saw that she had left me a voicemail, I called her right away. The phone rang, and then I received an email from her, and it was basically saying like, "Hey, like we'd like to book you for an interview. However, our hiring manager is only available on a Friday." Which was really weird for me because after all the research I've done when it comes to interviewing with corporations is that Mondays and Fridays are the worst day to book for an interview. So it's like already I felt like they were already setting me up for failure. And but still I was like, you know what, let me like entertain the thought of it. Let me say like, yeah, Friday works with me because even though like I know people are on vacation mode when it comes to Fridays, like no one really wants to interview on a Friday. Like along with Friday traffic, like it just didn't seem like a good idea. Yeah, I responded. I was like, "Hey, yeah, like Friday works for me. However, if you need any availability on Thursday, I'm also open for Thursday as well." So Tuesday, right? Wednesday passes, I don't hear nothing from this recruiter. Thursday comes and they give me like less than a 24-hour notice that, "Hey, like let's set up a interview for Friday at like 9:30 a.m." And she had emailed me like around like 9:30, like 10ish, whatever. And again, I was just like, how considerate is that, considering that you want me to go on site and visit the facility, and it was like maybe a half hour from where I live. Like you don't know my life. Like you don't know if I have to hire a babysitter. I am single. I don't have no kids, but still like they're just being inconsiderate and they're working on their time, and I get it that they're busy, but they also have to understand that future employers, those who are seeking employment, have lives. Like we have like a schedule. Like you don't know if we have a doctor's appointment. You don't know where we're going through. So it's just again like ego fed, and I just like that just rubbed me the wrong way because it just showed me that it's not really a two-way street with them. Like it's going to be a one-sided like, oh sorry, like we know you're requesting vacation, but due to business needs we can't give you it. Like it just gave me that, it gave me that it was a very one-sided type of organization that I just did not desire. And then there's just many horror stories, like not even really horror stories, but this and too, like I'm not really gonna go into depth of like every place that I've like had interaction because there's across the board. I feel like recruiters don't really know what they're doing. There's a bunch of egos when it comes to upper management. So again, there was this place that I interviewed with, and the recruiter had reached out to me through like phone or email. We set up a time to talk, and when I talked to talked to the recruiter, she seemed very nice. She seemed like a very kind individual, and I was like, you know what, this is a great representation of the employer I would love to interview with you guys. So sure enough, she set up its time and date for me to meet the hiring manager, and I went to go on site, and fortunately it was only like 15, 20 minutes away from where I live, and went, and I just felt like it felt good. It felt good right away. But within the first few minutes of talking to her, the hiring manager was telling me that how she was fasting because she wanted to lose weight. And I don't know why, but that just rubbed me the wrong way, because it's like, one, it's like, why are you already talking about your body image and I'm just meeting you? Two, like, are you trying to like, are you what's it called, projecting to me that I need to lose weight? Like, it just rubbed me the wrong way. I felt it was very unprofessional, but I was like, you know what, I'm here, like, she's probably sweet, like let's just go forward with it. So, and then there were just like like two other red flags that I was catching with her, where I felt like she was just being unprofessional. Like, as a hiring manager, there are things that I wouldn't open up to a person who's not even an employed, a person that's trying to get on board with me. Like, I feel like as a hiring manager, you want to be the promotion of the company. Like, hey, this is why you should work here, and like, let's see your skills. It's a two-way street when it comes to this interview thing. But she just gave me like, she was shrinking her leadership skills as I was in the room. And it's like, dude, why are you shrinking yourself? I don't even know you. Like, are you intimidated by my aura? Are you intimidated by my background? Like, it just was not a good fit. And I was like, you know what, whatever. So then, like, within, I want to say, a day or two, I received a call from that same recruiter and was like, hey, like, she's still interviewing different candidates, however, I think you would be a better fit, or a good fit for this other role that we are opening, or we're looking for. So would you be interested? And I was like, yeah, sure. So sure enough, this time I unfortunately had a Zoom call with this man, or the hiring manager, who was a man, and which was great because I didn't have to drive anywhere. So we interviewed, and it was for like an account manager role. And while we were interviewing, I just thought, on like, during the interview, I was like, you know what, I'm not interested in this company anymore. I'm not interested in this role for sure, because I just didn't feel the passionate that I normally have when it comes to like interviewing, and which is a huge indicator for me that this isn't going to be a good match. So sure enough, while in the interview, I just thought, you know what, this isn't a good match. Like, overall, like, I just don't feel the vibe from the manager. I don't like the role. I think that was the biggest thing, though, is that I just wasn't filling the role. Like, I just didn't feel passionate for it. Like, when he was going into detail of what the work would be, it just was not gravitating to me. And I know for a fact that if I had got the position, I wouldn't have been happy. I would have looked for a job immediately. It's like, and that makes no sense. Like, why would I want to put myself in a position where I immediately need to look for another work out of desperation to get a job? And yeah, so there have just been numerous encounters where I'm interviewing with people, but it just isn't a match for me. And fortunately, I'm still interviewing with different companies, so it's up in the air if I get uh if I get employment. I think the biggest thing of this is to be positive of your it's to remain positive of the circumstances that you're going through, because yes, it is unfortunate that I have to seek employment and I have bills that are paid. There is the worry that I have to move back home in a few months once my lease ends, should I not get employed. And I'm very, very nervous about that, because as much as I love my mom, and I love, like, where, or I don't love where I used to live, and there's a lot of good memories back there, but there's also a bunch of bad memories where I kind of don't want to go back home, where it is an environment where it's mixed with nostalgia and PTSD. So it's the worry of me going back home. It's what scares me. Along with, another thing is, one thing that I noticed is when I got the higher paying job, my previous job, is that there were some people who were envious of me because I had made it to a new caliber of, like, my income, my bracket. So seeing those people, how they reacted to when I uplifted, it's now kind of creating this just like s- untrust relationship, where I haven't even told certain people that I lost my job because I'm nervous about how their reactions were, because when I was here, they were pissed. Now that I'm no longer employed, like, how is their reaction going to be? So it's also me losing trust within people that I've loved and people who I've respected for numerous of years, which is very heartbreaking. And along with just seeing how some friends react, I get it. Everyone's going through something because the way this world is based right now, specifically in America, if you're going through it, our economy is just so different. Like, there's so much things that are different, um, that of course that we did not predict on how it would be. So I get it. Everyone's going through stuff, but however, when it came to the support from some of the people that I did tell my unemployment, I didn't receive the support that I needed. And the thing is, I'm not asking for financial support. All I'm asking for is just emotional support. And I feel like if a friend could not provide the emotional support that I needed, then it questions me and their friendship, and if I really want to proceed with them being a friend. And it's heartbreaking. I just have felt loneliness as well as that, because I've inside my head, these are pretty much friendship breakups that, I don't think I'm going to continue talking to them or pursuing us, like hanging out if they want to, but it's a loneliness that comes out of it. Another thing is that, because I'm trying to be better on the budget, a lot of the days of my unemployment, I've been home. I haven't really gone out to explore the city that I moved into, along with explore like local cities that I've known about and that I loved. Granted, I did go on vacation, and if you want to see, like, look how bad this like tan is. Like, okay, and that's another sidetrack, is that I did go on vacation. I'm very fortunate that I was able to go to that. But other than that week of me going on vacation, a lot of these days have been spent home, where I'm just kind of like in the house and filming content or doing nothing, honestly, or reading, journaling, whatever it may be. But I've found myself like pretty isolated. And the thing about human beings is that we are social creatures. So, wanting employment, wanting to be in office, to socialize with individuals is something that I crave, because I do miss working. Like, I do miss making money. Like, I made this channel in hopes of, yeah, of me having this take off. But realistically, I don't really know what I'm doing with this YouTube channel. I don't really know what's the forecast of this, if it blows up or not. And then of course I do hope it does, because I think that overall I have had a good head on my shoulders throughout the trials and the tribulations, and that I've remained positive, and I have like a good understanding of what it takes to be positive, and what it is to give good advice. And I'm all aware of that. And it does get me mad, seeing like the James Charles like influencers, like, where it's just they're ego driven and so selfish, yet they have good platforms. And it's like, dude, people like me would kill for that. Well, not literally, I would not kill for that. Like, no. But the point is, people who would love to have that type of platform, and that how people just take advantage of their platforms and don't use it for good. So yeah, that I think this is a way better video of my unemployment reflection. And it's great that I get to reflect on all these old videos, because it makes me think like, oh, where I was, what I was thinking, along with like just watching it just makes me feel like, like, good job, girl. But I know that there are a lot of layoffs. A lot of people are getting let go. It's just an employer's market. So my encouragement is just to continue to look for a job if you are employed. Even if you are employed, to look for a job, remain positive, journal, try to find an outlet, create a silly little YouTube channel just like I did, and also speak up about it with people who you can trust. But I think what's really helped me is this YouTube channel, and writing about it, because it's a no judgment zone when it comes to that. And if you are facing unemployment, what has helped you through this unfortunate circumstances? So that's all I have for today. I want to thank you all for watching this video. If you stay tuned and if you watched it all, thank you so much. There are a couple of videos I do need to edit from Mother's Day along with my trip to Mexico that I would love to post on the YouTube channel. I just need to edit them out. That's a thing. Getting back on from vacation and figuring out my groove again and like how like, editing the video because I haven't done it in so long. Usually I'll record something and I just kind of post it, but with these videos in particular, I really want to edit them out to the channel and give it my all or the best I can. But regardless, I love y'all. Thank you for rocking with me. I know I got a few subscribers since my last posting about Drake. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sticking around. I appreciate it all. Much love. God bless. I hope you all are doing well and see you on the next one.